Hi everyone, it's me, B Atikali Sunflower. So I'm on today to do an unboxing, flip through, and first impressions of this gorgeous deck. The deck is called The Wisdom of Natural Hair. This was my unicorn deck for many years. So just before it went out of print, I was kind of like and ahhing about it. It was in my basket, but I was kind of in two minds. And then when I said, right, I'm going to buy it, it went out of print and I was gutted. And I emailed the creator and said, will she sell her deck again? And I think during the time she was moving from Canada, I think, to Senegal. But I contacted her again recently and I said, please, do you have any copies of your Natural Hair Oracle? I'm on a alopecia hair journey and I think that this deck will help with my healing and understanding and also embracing my changes in my hair journey. So she sent me this copy. I'm not sure whether this deck is still for sale. I will copy the creator into this video so that maybe she can answer your questions should anybody else want to buy this deck. But I know that she's shipping from Senegal. Okay, so I love the colors of this deck. This seems to be in French, and as I said before, the creator is Senegalese, so she's Senegalese. People speak French, so I'm assuming that this deck will be bilingual, French and English. Ida Fies, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but that's the name of the creator. Again, this is in French, and I think this person here, Shakira Rivers, is the actual artist that done the artwork for this deck. So this is in English, The Wisdom of Natural Hair. And again, this is in English as well. So the box is written in French and kind of English. I also like the colours, you know, because brown makes it very earthy. The gold blends very nice with brown. So let's have a look at the back of the box. The 35 card deck will help you reconnect and better understand the hidden wisdom of your natural hair. These cards use a holistic approach to interpret simple situations and will take you around the globe and help you reassess the simplest movement of life, from the meaning of a knot, dry hair, to the need for colours so that you can grasp the language of your hair. And then it's also written in French. And this deck was published in 2015. So that's about 11 years ago now. And I'm sure when the first deck came out, it was coming from Canada, because I think the creator used to live in Canada, if I'm correct. So inside the box, it's written in French. So if you can read French. And then let me take out the cards. It's got in English, listen to the wisdom of your hair, which I think is so cool. The backs of the cards are afro combs, and this to me gives the deck an African kind of feel. I bought some afro combs to show you of mine if you're interested. Let me show some of my afro combs. So put this deck here. So this looks very similar to the afro comb at the back of the cards, if you can see. And this afro comb, I bought it in Nigeria, so it's like an African afro comb made out of wood. When I was growing up, a lot of my afro combs were made out of wood. It's another comb that I used to use a lot in my childhood. Sometimes I used to split and stuff. So even though the wooden combs are more natural in terms of, you know, like materials, I think if I'm honest, I prefer the plastic and the metal ones. So these are the two combs that I'm using now, currently, for my hair. So as I told you, that I'm going on an alopecia hair journey. My hair is not bald, it was thinning out, and I was lucky to catch it at a stage, so I got referred to a dermatologist. I've been taking medication to stop that from happening, so if you were to ever meet me, you think that I've probably got just like a short afro. It's no longer patchy like it used to be. And my hair texture has also kind of changed. It's now dry, which is not good for afro hair. So I use this comb and I use this comb. This comb is my detangling comb because it's quite wider. And this comb is my everyday comb. It's got a bit of hair in there. And I also like to use this comb as well, which is a metal comb. So going back to the deck, there isn't a guidebook for this deck per se, but creator did do a video where she gives explanations for each of the 55 cards, and if I can find it, I will link it in the description bar. She also done a first video as well about 9 years ago, and I think on her Instagram and Facebook page she does give explanations. This deck, I guess you can use it for a hair journey, but you can also use it as like everyday keywords for everyday life. I think this deck is based more around afro hair, stroke curly hair, but I think all hair types can benefit from this deck because people have perms, people have naturally curly hair and stuff, so I think everyone can benefit from this deck. So, you know, it's targeted for all, I would say, races. So I think that the creator said as well in one of her videos that she used numerology as well. If I link the oral guidebook to the description bar, you'll be able to see what she said. So the first card says courage, and this is my interpretation of the card. You know, this is about transitioning from someone that's got relaxed hair. So relaxed hair is when people put chemicals in their hair to straighten it. So this woman's hair is relaxed, and behind her is her natural hair that grows out of her scalp, her afro. So I think this keyword is saying that she needs to face her shadow. She wants to transition from relaxed hair to natural hair. But it's hard work for some people. Some private employers in the UK don't like black women to have their natural hair. They prefer you to have your hair extensions or relaxed or weave on. Some private employers do that. So and a lot of the younger generation, like my daughter's friends, I've hardly seen their hair. They wear a lot of wigs and a lot of weaves. So it is quite a shadow aspect to kind of like start wearing your natural hair, and it does take courage to face that. So I guess that this card is saying that she's trying to confront her shadow, which is her natural hair. That's what I think this card is trying to say anyway. So the transformation card, to me, this could mean two things. This could mean the big chop, and the big chop is when somebody just shaves all their hair off and starts again. Or it could be a thing where this person might have breakage at the side of her hair, and maybe she wants to transform her hair, maybe cut off the breakage sides and rock a trendy hairstyle. And then also, I guess you could use as keywords outside of the hair, maybe as new beginnings, because the big chop is new beginnings or a fresh start, because your hair is going to start a fresh journey. I love this card. This to me is someone that's got alopecia because she's bald, and it takes a strong woman to be able to walk out in public and rock a bald hairstyle. I've had my hair shaved bald, or maybe 0.5, so just almost bald. I mean, I haven't got a problem doing that, but I go to a monthly alopecia group, and some women are just naturally bald with no eyelashes, no eyebrows, no hair, and they say how uncomfortable it makes them feel, how unfeminine it makes them feel being bald. And this woman is bald. She's not afraid to rock that hairstyle. She's bold, she's strong, she's fabulous. And also this woman looks very similar to somebody from the Maasai tribe in Kenya. I don't know whether they wear their hair bald. I think they have short hairstyles, but this woman is saying you can still have short hair, you can still have natural hair and be bold and beautiful and sassy. So I like this card. So card 4 is Quench That Thirst. Now, I think this hair is talking about keeping your hair moist and, you know, not being afraid to wet your hair, walk out in the rain and all this sort of stuff. Because for afro hair, I would say dry hair is maybe the equivalent of maybe Caucasian hair being greasy. So if a Caucasian person's got a greasy hair, the equivalent to that with afro hair would be dry. And then if someone's got like moist hair, which might be seen as greasy in the Caucasian world, moist hair is what afro hair should be. It should be nice and moist. So this card to me is all about quenching your hair. If it's thirsty, give it water. Because it's rain, yeah, a lot of black women have got fear of getting their hair wet. This card is saying that water shouldn't be your hair enemy. They should be friends. You know, even like drinking water in general is good for your hair growth, for all types of hair. So I think that crunching that first is all about keeping your hair moist, drinking loads of water so that you're hydrated, not being scared to let your hair touch water. So if you're going to go swimming, and for example, and you know you're scared of the chlorine breaking your hair, you can always wash your hair thoroughly, give it a deep condition afterwards, and let the conditioner penetrate your scalp and stuff. So that's what I think this card is saying anyway. Card 4. So card 5. This to me has got many meanings. So if you look at the woman, she's like a Rastafarian. She's got like a head wrap. It looks like she's unraveled her head wrap. And she's got the Rasta colours, you know, red, gold, green and black, which a lot of Rastafarian women wear. She's got the ankh in her earrings, which to me is the key of life. A lot of like Rastafarian or Pan-African women like to wear kind of ankh jewellery, what they do in the UK anyway. So I think this card is kind of saying when you're not in public and you're in your own space, free your hair, unravel your hair, let air get to it. It can also mean as well like free yourself from old beliefs as well, because you know she's got the red, gold and green and then the locks, but then it's an old belief that if you've got locks you have to be Rasta, when there's other people that have locks that aren't Rastas, you know, like dadders and all this sort of stuff. It's just saying free your hair, free yourself. It could even be like free movement, free spirit. You know, this card's got a lot of meanings to it, in my opinion. Card 6. I love my natural hair. So this person is embracing her hair. She's got quite a tight curl pattern there. I'd say like a 4C, but she doesn't care. Her hair pattern showing. She's got like a little ribbon at the side, not a ribbon, but like a little flower at the side of her hair. And she just said, I don't care if my hair's not appealing to you. I love my natural hair, and that's that. So card 7 is love the hair that's yours. So this person's got like blonde hair and black skin. There is a tribe in Africa, I can't remember what they're called, but they are naturally kind of blonde. That is her own hair. So maybe that's saying love your hair. And also it could have another message as well, because there's a lot of women that wear blonde wigs and dye their hair blonde. Some people are doing it for a statement because they're thinking, hey, I want to show you that I can wear blonde hair too. This card could also be saying that how, you know, even though it's good to wear blonde wigs and just wigs in general or weaves in general or whatever, it's also good to appreciate the hair that comes out of your scalp. So the natural afro that comes out of your scalp. You know, don't neglect that, because sometimes a lot of people, they might spend hundreds on their wigs and their weave on. They might spend hundreds buying the correct kind of hair products, but then their own natural hair underneath it, they're neglecting it. I've got friends that they wear wigs and weave, and then they put a hat over their weave saying that their weave's messy. If your weave or wig is messy, take it off and put the hat over your natural hair. You know, I just find it very strange. So this card's all about loving the hair that is yours, and maybe as well a bit about self-love as well, if you're reading it from a non-hair perspective. Card 8 is condition your hair with love. You can see that the kind of afro is like a heart shape. Actually, it says condition you hair with love. So I'm guessing that it's talking, rather than saying your, it's talking about you as in the person, I'm guessing, or is it a typo? I'm not sure. The afro is kind of heart-shaped. The shadow of the afro is kind of heart-shaped. So even if you're not reading this as an afro kind of or a hair kind of card, it's all about self-love, loving yourself. You know, she's even got like a heart-shaped necklace. And, you know, red to me is all about love. She's hugging herself as well. You know, she's comforting herself. But I think in relation to hair, this card is saying, love your afro. I'm sorry. So card 9 is be part of nature. She's got like leaves growing out of her hair, looks like a bird's nest and all this sort of stuff. She looks quite natural. I think this card is talking about the actual products that you put in your hair. When I'm buying like hair products for my hair, I like natural products that have no parabens, no sulfur. I actually look at hair ingredients. I like to go as natural as possible, even down to the packaging. I like the packaging to be natural or recycled and all this sort of stuff. So I think this is talking about using natural hair products, even like natural combs, because this to me would be a natural comb because it's wood, come from the earth, and this would be a natural comb as well. But This comb here is plastic, but then it could be recyclable plastic. I don't know. And I also see like stainless steel as also like a natural product. So maybe it's saying, you know, be more mindful when you're buying like the hair products, the hair oil, the combs and stuff that you put in your hair. Wisdom of the Greys. Wow. So I think this is saying that maybe grey hair requires slightly different natural hair care, or being more knowledgeable about treating grey hair. This is my own personal opinion from intuition, because I've got bits of grey in my hair, and I was telling my dermatologist the other day that my hair is getting very, very dry. I'm having to moisturise it very regular. And he did say to me that grey hair requires slightly different treatments. So I don't know if this card is saying, I can understand your hair as it's transitioning from black to grey or dark brown to grey, because this hair isn't completely grey, isn't it? It's kind of like transitioning. So this card here is let your hair radiate. Wear it out, let it breathe, the sunlight get to it. So card 11, which is the same card as on the box, it says here, hair illusion. So I reckon this is like revolution, like, you know, like the Black Panthers and all those kind of 1960s kind of militant people that used to wear the afro in Pride. So I think that's about that era, being militant with your afro. This one here, which is card 13, wear your hair with pride. This looks like an albino to me. She's more albino, I think, than fair skinned black, because the hair's blonde, and most albinos have sort of like that kind of blondish hair. Well, black albinos anyway. And her eyebrows are the same colour as her hair. And 13 for me is like a lucky number. I've got albinos in my family and they're not treated very nice. They say that they're unlucky, but I don't. But this is saying that no, they're lucky. And this woman is embracing her African culture. She's got like a very regal hairstyle. You know, she's got like a gem, is that an amethyst in her hair, but like a gemstone. She looks very, very beautiful. Extremely. So card 14 is all about detangling the situation. So this woman's detangling her hair with her fingers. A lot of people don't really understand the detangling process, in my opinion, or they don't detangle their hair properly. You're supposed to start from the bottom and work your way up to the top when you're detangling. So you detangle, you go upright. This woman seems to be having issues detangling her hair. Maybe her life's a bit of a tangle. Detangling your hair is very important because it kind of stops the breakage. So if you've had your hair, for example, in a protective hairstyle for a few months, like extensions, or you've had your wig in for a little while, or your weave, because your hair's been stagnant, it's going to have, hair loss. And so when you're combing your hair, you've got to do it gently to kind of like escalate the breakage that comes with the detangling process. So it's just saying be mindful when detangling your hair. Maybe you might want to use a bit of conditioner. And it could also be just in general about life. If you've got like certain challenges in your life and you want to detangle them, do it bit by bit by bit. So card 15, listen to your hair angel. So I guess that's your guardian angel for your hair, which I listen to quite a lot. When I started my alopecia process, people were telling me, oh, don't listen to those dermatologists, don't do this, do that, use this, use that. But my intuition told me to do both. And because I listened to that guardian angel, that hair angel, I've now got hair on my head. Even when I go to the alopecia groups, people say to me, oh, are you sure you've got alopecia? Yes, I've got alopecia. It's just that I caught it in time before my hair scarred. So when you have alopecia, once your hair starts scarring and it goes kind of shiny, that means that your hair is not going to grow back. But my hair is not scarred and it is growing back thicker. So hopefully I'll be all right, or it won't get any worse than what it is. I don't think I'm going to go completely bald. So, cry a river to release. I think this is about releasing emotions, because transitioning can be like an emotional thing for people that got afro hair, because society doesn't embrace natural hair. How many celebrities do you see really wearing their natural hair? You might see Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, but how many do you really see? They've got this unified wig sort of status. So it is quite a daunting thing. It's quite emotional to take that step to go natural. And then I guess if you're reading it as just like a normal divinatory card, it's about releasing your emotions, I'd say. Dream of your hair, and it's got a woman that's got locks, and there's a dream catcher in the picture. So I guess this is saying follow your dreams, because what is her hair journey dream? Does she want to chop all that hair off and do a big chop and start again? Does she want to comb out her locks? Because sometimes if you've got locks, you know, some people like to cut out their locks and start again, but others like to comb out their locks, you know, detangle the whole situation. I mean, it's a lot of hair loss, but at least you've combed out your hair. So maybe this is her dream of her hair journey. So card 18 is you are your hair. This is about having pride in your hair, making your hair part of your personality. It's beautiful. This is a very creative hairstyle. She's wearing her hair with pride. She's made it part of her personality. So card 19 is you are what you eat. And I believe in this, you know, because I think that how what you eat promotes your hair growth, you know. So if you eat natural food, drink loads of water, it does promote the growth of your hair. In this picture, the woman's got like pineapple. She's got like bananas and mangoes and grapes. You can use food to treat your hair, like rice water. You can blend avocados, and you know, you can use things in your kitchen to make hair products. So I guess you are what you eat can also mean that kitchen spells can work wonders or something like that. Card 20 is about protecting your hair. This could mean several things. Protecting your hair at night by wearing a silk scarf, or protecting your hair in the winter, because in the winter, you know, a lot of people wear protective hairstyles, which could be things like cane row, you know, extensions, all that sort of stuff. But you don't wear it for long periods of time. It just protects your natural hair from the cold. You know, wearing hats to protect your hair. Maybe if you're you go swimming a lot, you might want to put on a swimming cap. When I go swimming, sometimes I put like conditioner on my hair when I put my swim cap on, and my hair's steaming as I'm doing my sports. But it's just about, you know, protective hairstyles, protecting your hair from the cold, you know, protecting your hair from heat. It could be all different sorts of hair protection. Go within. And this person's got Bantu knots. I used to wear my hair like this as a child, and even now sometimes I do it, you know, but the knots aren't as big because my hair's not as long. I'm not sure what this card actually means. It could mean doing it with your own intuition, that sort of thing. Listen to the messages. When I say listen to the messages of your hair, what works for your hair, what doesn't work for your hair. Take note of your hair journey. Some people do log down their hair journal in journals, like I have a hair diary, you know, of photos and things when my hair was patchy, and I'm comparing it now to my journey now, and you can see a big difference. So a lot of people journal their hair journey, and they write down things that didn't work, things that did work, and that's what I think this is saying. Listen to the messages. So this card here is find your path, and I think this is saying that when you start your natural hair journey, what path are you going to take in that natural journey? Because locks is natural hair. Are you going to be a locks person? Are you going to just shave your hair right down and keep your hair shaved? Are you going to wear your natural hair out as an afro? Are you going to wear it in cane rows? Are you going to wear it in bontal nuts? Are you going to do hair threading? You know, what hair journey are you going to take? Card 24, heal your hair. I think this is all about breakage. Some people, they wear their hair in all these wigs, extensions for long periods of time, and when they take them out, they don't let their hair breathe. They then go back into those hairstyles, and sometimes, you know, the front of your hair can start receding back. And also, it's quite taboo in some black communities not to cut your hair, but to be quite honest, when you trim your hair, it helps with the with the regrowth. But a lot of people don't want to trim their hair. You know, they want to save hair, and that causes the hair to split more. So I guess healing your hair is understanding your hair and not making choices that would make your hair break or be unhealthy. So card 25 is the Silver Head Mother. I think this is about embracing your grey hair, because a lot of women who I know, when they turn grey, they want to dye the grey. It's like they're ashamed of growing old gracefully. But there's nothing wrong with like having grey hair, you know. In fact, I cover my grey hair. People say, "Oh, why don't you dye your hair?" But no, when my hair's completely grey, as I always say, I'm going to do a lavender rinse, and I'm going to just enhance the grey. I think grey hair should be celebrated. You know, if someone's even got grey eyebrows. So it's just saying celebrate your natural grey hair, because natural hair could also mean natural colour. So if you when you go naturally grey, that's your natural colour. Don't fight it. So card 26 is let your hair show you the way. Let your hair determine your hair journey. So for example, if you want to dye your hair but your hair keeps on breaking, your hair is telling you that it doesn't want to be dyed. If you bleach your hair and it keeps on breaking, your hair doesn't want to be bleached. You might not like your hair texture, and you might try and use natural straightening methods. It doesn't work, but then other things might work for you. So, you know, have a hair diary, and then, you know, whatever things seem to be positive, follow that path. That's what I think this is saying anyway, because it's got all these leaves as well. So it's saying follow the natural path of your hair. So card 27, grow with your hair. I personally think this card is saying about the big chop. So once you've had that big chop and you shed all your hair off, you're now in control with how your hair grows, and you can kind of make it part of you. You know, you can like style your hair in styles that fit your face, and just, you know, enjoy the growth of a new growth of your new chosen natural hairstyle. So card 28 is love your inner child. So I guess that when we was children, our hair was natural, and we used to love our hair then. I used to have my hair in ribbons and beads and all, sometimes thread. Spiraless, people used to call it, China bumps. You know, and as a child, you love your hair. You want to look pretty. You love all your little beads and all your little bobbles and all your little bows. But as you get older, you then get commercialized and don't love that kind of hair. So I'm just saying it's loving your inner child, loving that natural state. So card 29 is express yourself, and I really like this card because this woman, she's natural. She's got like locks. She's shaved the sides of her hair. She's dyed it like a copper brown. She's got lots of accessories there, piercings and stuff. The eyeshadow matches the hair. She's expressing herself. She's expressing her personality in her hair. And when you have colour, even if you're colouring your natural hair, you still got to make sure that you treat it, you know, use the right hair treatments and all this sort of stuff. This one here is celebrating yourself. Again, this person's got like an afro. Her curl pattern's quite tight. I would say that she's got like a 4C type of curl pattern. She's put in blonde streaks, and the blonde streaks suit her eyeshadow. She's wearing gold jewellery. She's got like a gold headband with nice cowrie shells. You know, she's celebrating herself. She's celebrating her natural hair with pride. I love it. Card 31, develop your intuition. I think this is saying you do what's best for you. Let your gut guide your hair journey. Don't let outside influences let you do what you don't want to do, sort of thing. I guess it's a non-divinatory card. This is just saying develop your intuition. So card 32 is love and protect yourself. This could be about self-care if you're reading it as a divinatory card. And it could also be about your hair. Love your hair. Grow to love your natural hair. You know, protect it by using the right oils and the right treatments. You know, by giving it regular trims and all this sort of stuff. So card 33 is ancient treasures for your hair. I think this is talking about old-fashioned methods. As I'm getting older, I'm finding that I'm gravitating more towards the hair products that were kind of around when I was younger, like Blue Magic, the Dax one. I like the Black Dax cream, and all those kind of old-fashioned hair creams. And then also as well, I like to like grease my scalp and as well as my hair, because I find that a lot of youngsters don't really deal with their scalp; they just deal with the hair. So I do find that as I'm getting older, I like the traditional hair remedies, and also I like traditional Nigerian hair remedies as well. Rather than blow dry the hair, I prefer to use thread and then unravel it. That gives it a straight look as well. Now this card is interesting. This card is Embrace Your Nation, and it's got all different types of hair. It's got locks hair. It's got like all different curl patterns. Like this is 4C, this could be 3, this could be 2, but all different types of natural hair textures. Because you know with Afro hair there's different textures. I think my natural texture is 4C, but it's just saying embrace all of it. You know, some of this hair is like mixed race hair, some of it is natural locks, and it's just saying embrace it. "35 is celebrate sisterhood in a big way." So I think this is about sharing your hair journey with similar people. Maybe going to not support groups, but you get like online, like groups where people chat about hair, or you might just want to do a hair journey with a friend and you share each other's ideas. I have a few people that we share our hair diaries and we talk about our hair journey and all that sort of stuff. So it's saying that celebrate it with another person and learn from each other. And I guess for like a non-hair divinatory term, it could be a problem shared is a problem halved. So this one is saying master your hair. So master the techniques, of your hair. Learn to understand your curl pattern. Learn to understand what works for you. Learn what products work for you, because not all hair products work for all people. Like my daughter now, right? Things like black castor oil, that grows her hair like no other. But with me, it does nothing. My hair likes things like coconut oil and avocado oil, my hair likes. So, what might grow your hair might not grow another person's hair. So it's just saying master your hair care. Tailor it to your needs. Long, wise love. So this is like a mature couple. They've got really nice, healthy kind of hair. And maybe they've always had their hair natural and they've gained wisdom with their hair care. Maybe it's saying that you can consult the older generation about their hair care, and stuff like that. I've got friends that have got virgin hair. And what I mean by virgin hair is they've never had weave, they've never had extensions, they might have had chemo and natural hairstyles, they've never put colour in their hair, and they've done that all their life. And now that they're older, because they haven't abused their hair to chemical treatments, very tight chemos that cause traction, alopecia, and all this sort of stuff, their hair is healthy because they've just chose to embrace their hair all their life. Long, wise love. Young, natural love. There's a lot of young people. I mean, what I call young is 30 and down, 40s even, and they're embracing their natural hair. They're having natural hairstyles, accessorizing their hair, and putting in natural hair products, vegan, using things in their kitchen to treat their hair and all this sort of stuff. That's what I see as young, natural love. Share your wisdom. This is really a nice kind of depiction. So the woman is kind of like, caring for her young child's hair, and her child is imitating her and doing the same thing for her doll. Beautiful. It could also be as well about, doing diaries, doing vlogs, hair influencers. You get all sorts of people that share their wisdom on their hair journey. This card says honor the femininity, and it's like a three-generation family. It's like the grandmother, mother and daughter, and they've all got natural hair but different natural hairstyles, and it's making it like a family tradition. And a lot of people think, oh, you know, if your hair is natural that you're not feminine, but you can be still feminine with your natural hair. Honor the masculine in your life. So this is grandfather, father and son. But what I like about the grandfather, he's got a full head of hair. You know, the front of it comes right forward. I love that. The family hair thread. So the mother and father are entwined with their child. So they're in unison about the natural hair journey, or the natural hair language. They've got the same hair language. Card 43. As within, so without. That's very similar to the first card, where the person's looking back at their shadow. But whereas in the first card, let me find the first card. If you see the first card, the person has their back to their natural hairstyle because they didn't have the courage to kind of like transition from relaxed hair to the natural hair. But in this picture, this person's transitioned, and she's now facing her natural hair, because, you know, this is the front. This is the front of her hair, not the back. And it looks like she's chosen to have her hair in extension, so she's still got natural hair, but it's not relaxed. She's choosing to braid it, but she's now facing that fear. As within, so without. So it's no longer a shadow to her like it was in the first card. It's now part of her identity. Isn't that gorgeous? Take off the mask. I don't know, this has got so many meanings, this card. Embrace your natural hair. Is this an afro wig and she's trying to make out it's her own hair? I don't know. I might have to read the creator's video on this particular card. Ancient combs, sacred tools. So again, you know, I will show you my combs. This one is very similar to this one. But these are the old-fashioned combs that they used to have in Africa back in the day. Back to basics. This looks like a kind of like kitchen witch hair factory. All natural things from your kitchen to concoct into natural hair remedies. I like that. Don't let the rivers run dry. So I guess this is saying that how, you know, don't let your hair run dry. Keep it moist, keep it natural. Look after it. So this here says explore the layers within you. And if you look at this card, you've got the big chop and then each kind of hair journey. Yeah, so it's the hair growth after the chop. And then she's decided to go with locks. So I like this. Isn't it beautiful? Appreciate the diversity of your hair texture. So again, that's what I was saying earlier about the different hair textures. You know, people that have got 4C hair, they always tend to not like their hair because it's the one that's really tightly curled, and when it gets wet, it shrinks and it looks shorter than what it is. People would prefer to have the looser corkscrew kind of curls, but it doesn't matter what type of curl pattern you've got. Just appreciate it, embrace it. Keep yourself balanced. So I guess that's about diet and natural hair products, even like a mineral balance maybe, but just keep it balanced. Don't let it overwhelm you. This is your hair language or your hair journey. Look at the colours in your hair and life. So I guess it's about balancing your chakras. I've got a friend that used to use crystal healing as part of her hair journey. So yeah, it's about balancing your chakras. The Sankofa Phoenix. I'm not familiar with this, but I guess it will again be in the creators video, which I will try and link if I can find it. Honor those that honor you. This is about honoring the ancestors, because these are like traditional kind of African hairstyles. Oh, I love this. All you'll ever need is already within you. This is about, these are fertility statues. And they're bald, and they've got the Ankh, the key of life. So I guess this is about embracing just your natural self. You know, you can be bald and still be elegant. Look at these, aren't they beautiful carvings? And the final card says, from roots to tip. I guess it's saying that you must look after your hair growth from the actual roots down to the actual tips. And you've got to trim those tips sometimes to elevate the growth. Oh, what a beautiful deck. I'm so glad I finally got it in my hands. I love it. So let me shuffle these cards. So these cards are just like a normal oracle. They're quite slippery, but they're, I wouldn't recommend that you riffle shuffle them, but they're more of an overhand shuffler. So what are my first impressions of this deck? And how do I intend to use this deck? So I actually like this deck. It will be more of a shadow deck for me. I bought this deck more to embrace my hair journey and to learn more about my hair language. I'm also going to follow the creators. I think this is on a Facebook page where she went through each of the cards, and there are videos of her explaining all of the cards. So I might make my own journal about this deck, taking it from the creators' videos. That's what I think I'm going to do. And I'm just going to use it as a daily oracle card for myself. So I won't use this deck to read for other people. I won't use this deck as a clarifying card. This deck is purely for self, for me, and to appreciate, learn and understand my hair language. So thank you so much, Ida, for devising this wonderful, wonderful deck. I'm so glad to have it in my hands. Thank you for sending this to me all the way from Senegal. As I said before, I'm not sure if this deck is for sale yet, but I am going to link the creator into this video so that she can answer any questions you have with regards to obtaining this deck. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.